everyone, how are you doing? It feels like it's been such a long time since I have been able to get ready and talk with you, so I'm starting the video today. But yeah, so life has just been so busy, lots has changed, we've had so much going on. We're going to try and film a life update video for you in the future, just because I feel like there's so much to share with you, and we've kind of been a little bit absent from this channel, but we are really trying with our new life, with our new baby, to find the time to film for you and share our recipes, but I can assure you that we still make some really lovely food. So today's recipe is saffron rice. This is a recipe that we put with many different dishes really. It's just something a little bit more special, something that maybe your guests would really enjoy. And we have a little bit more of an updated way of cooking rice than we've shown previously. It's sort of a new method that we're using, and we think that the results are really nice. You get really nice fluffy rice, so we're going to share that today with you. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again very soon.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, I hope all are doing well. So let's get started with saffron rice. Very basic, but especially with meat recipes, saffron rice goes so nice. I did do a video earlier where I showed how to prepare saffron to be used with rice, but in this video I'll show you a different way of doing it, and it's very simple, very straightforward. So let's get started with the ingredients, and I'll show you how to go about it. So the first thing I have is long grain basmati rice. So what I do is, before I soak, I usually soak rice for at least half an hour before cooking it. What that does is it makes the rice very nice and fluffy, and they are not sticking together. So before soaking, let's give it a quick wash. I would wash it about 3 times, I would say. So if you see, now that I'm washing it, the water is very starchy. So I like to take the starch out. If you wash it later after you have soaked your rice, it's very likely that the rice might break, and we don't want that. So I've drained the water, and I'll give it a rinse again. During all this time we have been redoing our house, which I think I did mention in one of our videos. It's all completed now. Maybe I'll show you what it looks like during this video. So you see, fresh water again is looking very starchy, so I would like to get this starch out. Drain this water again. It's less starchy the third time, but still is. So I'll wait for the water to get a little clear before I soak it. Maybe another rinse, I think. Here it is. I'll soak it for, and I'll leave it for at least 30 minutes. Even if you leave it for 1 hour, it's better, but at least 30 minutes, I would say. So the cup which I use to measure how much rice I'm cooking is, in this case, is 1 cup of rice. So I'll keep this cup to measure water as well later. Okay, so what's going in this rice? I would say once the cooking starts, pinch of salt, couple of cardamom pods. I'll be using 3 cardamom pods, green cardamom. Saffron. Most people don't buy saffron because it's very expensive. Yes, it is expensive if you look at a small jar, and here in England, if you go to get a jar of this size, it might cost you something between 10 and 15 pounds. But you can use this quantity of saffron for, I would say, 6 months. So if you calculate it like that, and you can make so much rice with it, yes, it is expensive, but I think looking at how many times you can prepare a meal with it, it's all right, I think. So you can get, it's 4 grams, 100% pure saffron. It's airtight, so I'll just open it. So what happens is, you don't use much saffron to prepare, let's say, 1 cup of rice in this case. You just use, I use slightly more than some people, but I think it's still not that much. So it's literally few strands of saffron. That's what you need. So in the cup which I measured rice, which I will use to measure water later, I'll just add these strands of saffron, and I'll just add little bit of boiling water from the kettle, just for the saffron to release its color. I've already boiled kettle, so I'll just add little bit of. So I don't know if you can see or not, it has started to release its color, which is beautiful. It's a very nice yellowish golden color that it gives. I leave it for the color to get released for as long as the rice is soaked. So this can live on the side. And a watch, just to know when you start the cooking process, and I'll let you know what I think is a very, very good way of preparing rice or saffron rice. The timing is same for whether you're preparing saffron rice or some other rice. It's just if you keep an eye, it's very, very easy. And I will add 1 tablespoon of olive oil as well. So it's extra virgin olive oil which I would like to use. I think it really gives a very nice texture and makes the rice really fluffy. I really like olive oil in rice. So 30 minutes later, I just drained water from the rice, and I'm going to add the rice to the cooking casserole. There should be, whatever pan you're using, it should have a lid, because rice has to go on a process which is called dum, and you can only do that if you have a proper lid with whatever you're cooking the rice in. So there's little bit of water in there, so what I'll do is I'll switch on heat at a high setting, which as soon as it starts to boil, I'll change the settings to low. So what's going in there now? Just a little bit of salt, maybe about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. It is optional. If you don't want to add salt, you don't have to. about 1 tablespoon of olive oil, three green cardamoms, and saffron water. So while the rice was soaked, saffron water has developed a really nice color. So I'll top this up with boiling water from the kettle and then transfer that to the pan. So the formula is 25% more water than the quantity of rice. So in this case it was 1 cup of rice, so it will be 1 cup plus quarter of a cup of water going in. So 1 cup, just make sure all the strands go in, and quarter more cup. Heat setting is still on high. I'll let it come to a nice boil before I turn it down to a low heat setting. So once it comes to boil, I'll set the timer. I have an electric stove, so I'll set the timer for 5 minutes. If you have a gas stove, instead of 5 minutes, just use 7 minutes timer after it has come to a boil. It has started to bubble, so the lid on. 5-minute timer starts. Heat setting to low, and after 5 minutes, without removing the lid, just switch off the heat setting. In case of a gas stove, after 7 minutes, switch off the gas, and then leave the rice on dum, which is what the process is called. You don't have to do anything, just switch off your stove and leave it to rest for at least 15 to 20 minutes, if not longer. If you leave it for 30 minutes, it's even better, but at least 15 to 20 minutes. So I'll be back in let's say 5 minutes. Okay, so I've switched off the stove and I leave it on dum. I prefer a dum of at least 30 minutes. At least 15 minutes is good, but I'll just do it for 30 minutes because we're not in a rush. So you don't have to do anything, just it's just a local traditional term used, dum, which is basically leave it to rest with the lid on, and then you'll have really nice fluffy rice to enjoy with anything you wish. So I'll see you in a bit once dum is finished. So let's see how our rice looks after a good dum. So if you can see, it's all nice and fluffy, individual grains, and these strands look so beautiful in rice, and the taste of saffron in white rice is very, very nice. So this was a very simple recipe to prepare rice, saffron rice this time. I hope you enjoyed today's video, but before I leave, I would like to share a few clips of what we did with the house. Uh, Food is big in our culture. That's how we socialize, that's how we enjoy, that's our entertainment, that's our life. So for that reason, all this space we have dedicated to a dining setup, and which has worked really well. And since we changed it to this setup, we had so many people over, and I think all of us really enjoyed. At the same time, we have created these corners by the window with chairs and a sofa chair just to relax. Then there is seat by the fireplace as well. So this space has come together really well. We had a spare room which we created into a nice big living space. So I think it's worked out really well. Do let us know what you think about this space. And by doing this, we are able to now actually extend this dining table, which before this bit was just hidden under the table and it was not fully extended. Now we can enjoy it fully extended. Till next time, it's a goodbye from myself and from Faye, and we shall see you again very soon. But before I leave, one more thing. Today we're going to enjoy this saffron rice with a very nice tandoori style chicken, and the next recipe would be that tandoori chicken recipe, which I'll show you how we did in the oven. Instead of frying it or cooking it, it's done in the oven. So stay tuned, and it's a goodbye until next time.